It's the second to final episode.
Last quote-unquote planet, at least.
Fair enough, yeah.
They call it a prison planet, it seems more like just a really shitty city.
Well, I mean, I guess, Ghetto Planet would have had the worst connotation possible. I really wonder what the graffiti used to be in Japanese, or if it was always English.
They do have some interesting ones. Bang and destroy.
Yeah, for now. Boom. Cool. Cool is the one that seems most out of place. It's probably definitely something that they had to censor. Not open, well, I don't know. That one seems like a public service thing if it's only on dumpsters, actually.
If they're all criminals, I don't think they care.
Well, I mean, nobody wants to live in a stinky ghetto. I assume they live here, right?
We want a really well-cleaned ghetto.
Well, if you have no choice, I mean, you're stranded on a planet or you're assigned to work there, you don't want the entire place to stink like a pigsty. I assume.
You get out of the way this way.
I actually wanted to see if he could fall into the car, but no, it looks like no. Only bombs can go through the broken window. They're very obviously, not at all a transparent texture, even though they had the capacity to make those broken window.
Having seen all of the footage of the game now, it's amazing that if you don't have a second player, Pommy is well and truly useless.
Well, I mean, if we leveled him up, he could have the potential to be useful. I don't know if you noticed in the bonus video, Claw Pommy? He actually does do damage, even though his attack will make him move forward automatically into the enemy, so he'll get stunned anyway after he's done doing damage. But I mean, he can be useful. It's just that I was so sure that maybe I didn't see Pommy's smug portrait because I had evolved Pommy. No, it just only shows up once.
You made our thread vote under false pretenses, how dare you?
Well, they're still gonna get to see them all because I'm that sort of person.
True.
I will play a game over and over again.
You're a better player than I am.
More persistent, maybe. I don't know about better. I mean, to be fair, if I had less patience, maybe I would give it up as well. The moment that I started saying, oh, all my upgrades are gone because I touched the buffalo. Great. And all these enemies also do that. We're gonna see that happen again this episode, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
I distinctly remember speeding that bit up.
And it's more annoying because that was a ranged attack. At least the buffalo, it's like, okay, it's my own fault for walking in there.
He tried to ramp off your face.
They do wheelies to just run into you, and I don't know. I don't get the modus operandi of these bikes. I don't even understand what their body type is. Like, I can't tell if it's a biker or if it's an actual bike with a head on the handlebars. It's really hard to tell with a low-resolution polygon model.
And just tiny characters in general.
Well, yeah, that, but I mean, we fought coins, so I mean...
Yeah.
Can't rule out that maybe it is straight up just a bike.
You can't throw a bomb into that car?
No. I tried. I tried a lot, but, the one car that you can throw things into is that one that you actually need to progress. But this one, it doesn't matter where you put a bomb, you can't blow open the stores, and you can't do anything. This is a custom part that I tried to get without the bombs, because I was like, okay, maybe people will ask me to come here first. You can't. The conveyor belt, you can get on top of it, but you can't move any further. And I don't get what the point of that crusher room is, other than maybe getting you as the player, but there doesn't seem to be any purpose.
Yeah, it just seems to be a gotcha room. Which you can easily avoid.
You could explain some of these rooms, like, I guess this is just an abandoned slum. That would work, but What sort of room it doesn't have any entryway, crushes things, and then you need a conveyor belt piling them out for you, presumably.
Bang chicken cool.
I assume that maybe, just maybe, whoever was doing the graffiti wasn't actually the same person. Maybe it's a very good inside joke in Japanese.
I need to remember to make that the video description. Bang chicken cool.
Oh boy.
If this were a mega thread, that would be the thread title at least.
Bang Chicken Cool, the Bomberman series. You could change it, right? You could ask Fejul or Jordan Kai to change the title if you really wanted to.
I'm sure more people would actually come and read the thread that way.
What is this about? Bang Chicken Cool Bomberman.
I mean, we're right near the end of the mega thread's life. We got a couple of games left, if not just one.
We could have more, it's just that I don't think anybody's gonna, like, buy Bomberman chains and try to show off that iOS game that Konami did. There's a lot of other games that are probably like Bomberman Online that are just plain old discontinued.
Yeah, and most of them are just the multiplayer game. Bang cool boom. It'd be amazing if some of this graffiti were like hints.
Oh, I hope not.
Like you had to bang a chicken in a cool way to solve this puzzle.
Actually, I think that would get us banned straight up. If that were actually inside of any game.
I'm sure there's been a Postal LP.
Is that... Oh, right, there's the thing.
There it is.
Yeah. Is that a thing you have to do in Postal? I don't think so, right?
It's a thing that, if it were in Postal, you wouldn't be surprised.
I guess not. I would still be a little perturbed by it, but I think that's the goal of Postal, right?
Yeah. So you're in negative skates now, right?
You can't go below 0, but yeah, I'm at 0. So, yeah, understandably, you sped it up. There's a custom part under the train here. It's extremely difficult to see, and even when you see the block, you can't tell what dropped from it, so...
Yeah, I could only tell it was blue.
More graffiti here, more living bikes here. No skates. My kingdom for some skates.
He said in the 90s.
Here's an interesting thing about this level that probably doesn't matter to anybody other than me, but that's because I played this a lot more than I should have. A lot of the garbage, like the tires and stuff, unlike other levels, is actually randomly placed.
Huh. That is kind of cool, actually.
I don't know why they went through the trouble, though. Because it's the only level that I've noticed that. Like, everything else has, you know, predisposed spawn spots. But this one, the tires could be in the corners, or they could be packed together in, like, one part of the level. Not everything is randomly placed, but the fact that any of it is, it's just like, okay, I guess maybe this level was coded first, and they were toying around with things that they could do, and they forgot to take it out. I was hoping that there would be an item there. I'm desperate for skates. So I'm just trying to get any skates at all. So, yeah, I was pretty happy when that happened.
I love enemies that just walk into the slowest of explosions.
Well, that's just been Bomberman from the get-go, hasn't it? Like,
yeah.
Why make the AI super smart? And I'll tell you why not to, if we ever get to show off battle mode. Because it's absolutely unfair.
Speaking of explosions, are the light bombs the best bombs for this area? Because it seems like if an enemy gets caught in the blast, there's a good chance that their health will slowly drain, but they'll be left with, like, just a sliver.
Well, the light bombs are good for this area because a lot of enemies just straight up disappear the moment that they're hit with it. These enemies, they don't even have the life bar spawn, and when an enemy doesn't have the life bar slowly drain, it means that they were instantly destroyed by whatever it was. So I use them for that, but the other thing is that even at a lower fire level, the light bomb for some reason lasts long enough that it will drain the life out of every other enemy. So I just use it for that. It's like, it's not as obnoxious as the magma bomb or the earth bomb or whatever the actual name of the bomb is anymore. I can't remember. It doesn't have the same range, but I mean, it does its job.
The tool-assisted slow bomb.
I suppose that would be the way that I would refer to. I don't know. You'll see that eventually I'll go back to the earth bombs because their range is just phenomenal. It's a pain to wait all the time.
Yeah.
The fact that those bullets don't disappear quicker really annoys me because you have to waste time thinking, okay, where do I go that I'm not going to get hit by those?
It's annoying just for the sake that it drains your speed. I mean, second attack is slow enough as it is.
Well, having anything be drained is annoying. It doesn't matter if it's your speed or not. Like, maybe the only godsend is... You'll see it in Warship Noah. The only godsend to lowering anything. Yeah, maybe lowering the amount of time that certain bombs are on screen is a good reason to go down to level 1 or level 0 fire. But everything else, like God damn it. Lowering the bomb level is extremely annoying. Lowering the fire level is only good for those bombs that are the, circular explosion type. There's just no real reason that they should have done the lower level thing. If anything, they should have made it so that it's something that's clearly broadcast, like the skull items in regular Bomberman games with multiplayer. And they'll show up here, except they made them... They made everything worse. There's a devil item. The devil item, what it does, is that it activates a poison effect for everyone. It's like everyone picked up a skull, just because one person picked up a devil item. So, I don't know. And you can't destroy the skull items in this one, like you could in other Super Nintendo or Nintendo Bomberman games.
Except Super Bomberman 5, if you try to blast it, it just bounces across the screen.
Well, yeah, but that's a thing you could toggle off and on in the options. You could make it indestructible or not, but you could interact with it somehow. You could make it go away from you. And in this one, no.
Speaking of which, you can't get rid of Regulus.
Regulus is cool. I mean, he's probably the only character other than Max that actually comes back in Bomberman games that isn't Bomberman.
Yeah.
I mean, even Pommy just... I don't know what happens to Pommy. He just gets completely Pokemon-fied, I guess? And loses his ability to think and talk. Which, I mean, on one hand, no more being told, Bomberman can't swim. On the other hand, that's a shame, I guess. Anyway, Regulus can throw you off, you can fall off, the black hole will instantly kill you. This entire fight is really unfair. Here you want to use the ice bombs or, the light bombs as I'm using. The light bomb is kind of a worse option because you can only put one at a time. But you can't use the whole wind bomb thing that I was talking about with every other boss because there's no walls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even in the wind stage, for one, you wouldn't have the wind bombs because you're fighting Ashtart. But there's a few edges of the stage that don't have walls, so it would suck if you used them there. But this is the only other arena where that's a factor at all.
Somehow you hit him through the black hole.
You can, because the black hole doesn't absorb flames, I guess. It also doesn't absorb bombs, it just makes them go off immediately. So that's the way to handle Regulus. I've been knocked off immediately by Regulus, though. Since you start off in the southern corner of the stage, he can just dash at you and you can be like, oh, I guess I'm done. So, do you like exposition?
Oh, it's the best part of any game.
Well, you're in for a treat.
Mikhail.
Michelle. Michael. I assume that Rukefelth is definitely like named after Lucifer, right? Just a weird pronunciation or spelling of it.
Maybe.
So I assume that Michael is like Michael, you know, like the other angel that isn't Gabriel that is well known in Christian Catholic mythology? I don't even know what you would call it. Because I'm not aware of any goddesses that are known as Michael in any other mythology. And if, you know, Beelzebub and Behemoth and all those other demons from the Solomon's Gate thing? Or
Solomon's Scape?
I can't remember the name of the Trials of Solomon. The demon... I don't know. Mythology isn't my forte. And I don't remember anything at all. All I know about that sort of mythology is from Shadow Hearts, an RPG series on the PS2 and PS1. But I mean, I just figure if they're borrowing from a lot of mythology, then I would assume that they would keep doing that for every other name that isn't Bomberman. I actually wonder if maybe Pommy is also from mythology.
I'm sure there's a Bomberman somewhere in the Bible.
And yea, on the seventh day, God said, "Oh my God, Bomberman, stop bombing all the animals. Please, just go home."
This one dropped a heart! Yes, it needs it to live more than you do.
Look, if I make you a small animal that makes fun of you all the time out of one of your ribs, will you just go away? Here, have a spaceship that's 2 sizes too big for you. Get out of my garden.
And on the 8th day, God said, let's try that again.
Just scrap the whole thing. Ugh.
Oh,
I'm glad that our Vegeta is kind of less Vegeta than actual Vegeta, I guess. If we're gonna use anime terms to describe rivals. I really can't tell what Regulus would be, like, analogous to. I actually don't understand why he's so hell-bent on rivalry. Like, what was his motivation in Bomberman 64-1? Wasn't it just like, I don't know.
he just worked with Altair.
I work for Altair, Sirius betrayed us, and now we're teaming up, Bomberman. Wasn't that the gist of it?
Yeah. He didn't have a real point. Exactly, Pommy.
Also, how many of the things that we're gonna get talked to about haven't already been discussed or revealed already in every other episode? Like, I mean, from Sayel's thing and all the monologues with Rukefelth, we already know everything about Michael and Sterthoth and everything, right?
But Bomberman doesn't, so we need to hear it again.
Bomberman knew! I can't believe they raided a tomb on a planet Chaos and expected, I don't know, money? Happiness? They don't even go on to what kind of piracy they were, like, you know, handling. Lilith is very clearly wearing one of those, the sashes that have bullet casings in them.
Were they the friendly, fun pirates, or they're murder-death pirates?
Is that just a decoration, like with Worf, or is it actually something that actually has, like, bullets? Was Lilith at some point supposed to have a gun? These are the hard-hitting questions that nobody will answer.
Well, she does, but it's in her shoes. That's why she can jump so high. Yes, Pommy, this is what Bomberman needed. Mythology and a big, deep, confusing story.
I'm glad that now we know everything. I mean, it's not like we weren't just gonna keep going ahead even if we didn't have any other reason other than to blow everything up and get out of a black hole, right? We needed more motivation, like saving the universe. Yeah! Bomberman the Selfless, they called me. As I destroyed an entire planet's worth of people just to get a few coins so I could buy every custom part out of a shop floating in the middle of a black hole. Why? Why anything? So yeah, now we can kill ourselves!
Yay!
Really, the black hole bomb is just exactly as useful as the light bomb? I don't really understand why you would use it other than to open up the 3 things that you have to use it on. Because if you kill enemies with it, the items get absorbed into a black hole. Like, your black hole does actually not respect anything else.
I mean, I guess it's good if you just outright want to get rid of something.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of times that I do want to outright get rid of enemies, but since I'm doing this LP, and I actually did want to get everything and show it off, I don't want money to go away. Hell, even if I did, I mean, hearts sometimes drop. Skates drop. Kinda need those to survive. So look at this stage and tell me that this isn't more maze-like than the one that we dealt with in Amusement Park Epicure.
Well, it baffles me just by looking at it.
I just feel that that one was fairly straightforward. Like, okay, there's one thing hidden by electricity, there's 3 switches that you have to press at the same time, and then there's the conveyor belt. But it wasn't convoluted. You didn't have to figure out, like, okay, how am I gonna get underneath this grating? How am I gonna get across this lava? And exactly where am I supposed to use wind bombs to get to 2 different places? Like, this one feels like a maze to me. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do when I decided to use that bomb over there. I thought that the enemy above would drop down in front of me. Nope.
It's kind of cool. That bomb looked like you locked it right underneath its wheel so it couldn't go anywhere.
I think it looked like that because for whatever reason, when enemies do get caught in the light bomb, they have a small, tiny, light blue circle pop up underneath them for a second. And that probably looked like a spark underneath the wheel.
Why do you need money? I feel like you have enough to buy everything now.
Oh no, you need... Okay, if you want every custom part, I don't know if you saw in the video, you need at least 45,000.
Uh-huh.
You need 45,000 coins. I had to revisit, the Sayel stage, Casino Night Zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one. I don't remember the name, but we know the one. I had to revisit it and just perform a little bit of Xenocide on the coins, so that they would drop their gold coins a lot.
Is Casinocide when you murder the entire population of a casino?
Maybe. if I went ahead and also did it to the slot machines and the wizards, but the wizards never drop anything other than fire downs and bomb downs. There's no reason to kill everyone at the casino. Other than, you know, they're in the way, I guess.
Did you manage to make that landing by redirecting yourself midair?
Yeah, after I hit the wall, I hit up immediately so that I would redirect myself. I don't know if there's any other way to get there. I assume maybe if you had enough patience to try to make a bomb staircase really quickly. But, I don't know. It seems like that's the way you're meant to do it. I was also wondering if maybe I could get the bomb underneath the grating with the circular light bomb, but I don't think you can. Like, I feel like I tried it and it didn't work. Like, it's just outside the circular reach.
Crunch.
I got nervous, and I think that will instant kill you, actually. So, it gets worse when you see that Bomberman spawns immediately next to it here for the cutscene.
I mean, solving these rooms are pretty... The ways to solve... Oh yeah, I see what you mean. The ways to solve them are pretty clever. I feel like I wouldn't have the patience to figure them out without getting incredibly frustrated.
Well, they've all been broadcast before. It's just that it feels like the last 4 of these bonus rooms are kind of unfair because they all assume not that you're going to use the one bomb type that you got in the stage, but a combination of every other bomb type. For example, imagine if I had gotten here with like less than 3 health, having to get across the lava with level 3 fire ice bombs would have killed me.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's unfair, in my opinion. Oh well.
So now that we know that this guy is actually Lilith's friend, if you look at him, he looks like Lilith's friend.
Well, I mean, he's got clay hair. Makes sense.
He's got clay hair and he's built for war.
He has no nose, same as Lilith, I think. I don't know. Anime noses sometimes are tiny dots, so maybe I just can't tell that she has a nose.
And he doesn't have a mouth until he's happy.
That is pretty anime of it. Actually, he doesn't have a mouth in his model at all, even when he's happy.
I don't think... Yeah, I think Lilith has a mouth. But, like, you don't see it, like, in the little corner, you don't see it until she's laughing.
She does actually have a mouth when her model is there, also. Like, when it's doing a close-up, you can see that she can open her mouth. The same way that Animal Pommy can open its mouth. Which is weird, because none of the Pommy, like, pictures, like the character portraits, show him opening his mouth ever. It doesn't matter what evolution he's in. I mean, I guess there's one, but technically it doesn't have a mouth at all. I mean, I'll show it off.
In the meantime, well done threading that needle.
So it's finally over. We've got every piece of the Guardian armor. I don't understand who designed that helmet. It's ugly as hell.
You look like a controller.
It looks like the Beta-Man toys that I mentioned once upon a time. Also, this is satisfying. You can use your remote bombs in the challenge rooms. So, hey, here's me not having to run all the time to get up here. Finally. Right when I don't need it.
Yeah. Thanks, Thread.
So yeah, we're almost at the end. So let's show off the custom parts we got from Thantos. We can be a punk. A mohawk, a cool leather jacket with a pop collar, brass knuckles because Yeah, Bomberman needed those. And boots. Boring old boots. With steel toes. Anyway, let's buy everything, because, I mean, there's nothing after the final level.
That's true.
So, buy a mustache, a tank, a paper fan, clown shoes, a top knot for samurais, a samurai wardrobe, a couple of swords. I don't know why. The samurai armor only has one, sheath for swords.
You eat the other one.
Maybe.
You need iron in your diet.
Grass sandals. I feel like they have a different name, but I can't remember it anymore. We get to indulge Bomberman's furryism.
Look, it's not Japan without a cat somewhere. And we haven't had a cat anywhere.
The Pommy evolved into a claw. The claw form is kind of cat.
But it's not a real cat.
Well, I mean, how do you explain the tank top that's an elephant, then? Or the Bruce Lee shoes?
That's an Osaka thing. We don't go there. I do enjoy this. Part of the princess costume has claws.
Yep, and it's from the same place as Bomberman 64. If you collected all the custom parts there, and you find the same slot for a princess costume has claws. I don't understand why they did that in 64, and I don't understand why they made it a recurring joke here.
This set you're buying right here is probably the scariest.
The gold armor?
No, the puppet armor.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
The gold armor is kind of badass.
It's a maid outfit with hand puppets, pommy slippers, and a bald head with a fake mustache. It's really weird.
I do like this.
We can buy this man's clothing.
Yep. And when you do, once you've bought all of them, you've actually taken his clothes.
I really wonder if he's supposed to be a reference to something. Why did they go through the trouble?
I don't know, they only went through the trouble once you bought everything.
Yeah. Every item unlocks after you've beaten a boss, except for a cowboy outfit, and I think this one, actually. The cat suit. No. What was the very first one? Ah, the mustache, the tank, the clown shoes, and the paper fans. Those are unlocked from the start. Then it's, you defeat Biofoil to be able to disguise yourself as a samurai. You defeat Behemoth to be able to disguise yourself as a boxer with an elephant outfit. Then the cat outfit, I think, is from Ashtart. Sayel is the girl's outfit. Moloch is the... Which one was it? Chick.
What the hell? I guess they had to go wacky to really differentiate yourself when you're in multiplayer.
Well, see, you say that, but when we get to multiplayer, there's also, like, you can choose all the computer characters once you've been in the game once, without, regardless of whether you collected every custom part or not. So, I mean, it's not necessary. It's necessary if you're playing multiplayer with 3 other human beings and they all want to be Bomberman, I guess, but you each need a controller pack. Like, you can save this to the game pack, but you can't actually use it unless you have a controller pack. You still have to save it to controller pack.
Jesus.
So, I don't get the point.
One thing I like about the gold armor, it looks like if you were to sit down, you would impale yourself.
I feel like that would happen even if you sat down with a tank. I feel like that might happen if you sat down with the elephant, actually.
So, like, wasn't the puppet outfit terrifying?
To me? I'm more wondering if there's, like, an actual chain of restaurants in Japan that has, like, orange maid outfits. Because I swear I've seen that same coloring in Phoenix Wright. And I don't understand why.
I'm sure. I mean,
I guess there's a Japanese Hooters? It's orange and white. It's the only thing I can think of.
Jahooters.
Hooters. Alright, stopping the recording there, I think.